If you peel back the sparkle, the gifts, the gatherings, and the rituals of the holiday season, you'll find something much softer underneath. Something far older than your adult responsibilities and far more tender than your grown-up heart likes to admit. You'll find your inner child. That small, hopeful, bright-eyed part of you who once waited for magic without shame. The part who believed in miracles before life taught you to manage expectations. The part who felt everything: excitement, disappointment, joy, hurt, with a purity you stopped allowing yourself a long time ago. Christmas, no matter where you are in life, is an invitation back to that place. It's not about religion, or culture, or tradition. It's about remembrance. Because deep inside you, there is still a child who remembers the feeling of belonging before you tried so hard to earn it. The feeling of wonder before the world trained it out of you. The feeling of worthiness before you knew anything about perfection, achievement, or being good enough. The truth we forget as adults. Adulthood teaches you that the world runs on logic, caution, and responsibility. But childhood taught you that life is full of magic when your heart is open. And the most surprising thing? Only one of these teachings is truly yours. The other was layered onto you. When you came into this world, you didn't worry about being too much or not enough. You didn't measure your worth by your productivity. You didn't hide your needs or feelings. You reached, asked, cried, laughed, hoped, dreamed, trusted. Your inner child is not a memory. They are a living emotional blueprint. They carry your purest truth, your earliest wounds, and your most untouched capacities for joy. But at some point, many of us were asked, through pain, disappointment, or survival, to abandon that part of ourselves. Christmas, in its strange universal way, brings that child back to the surface. For some people that creates warmth. For others it brings sadness. For most of us, it brings both. Maybe Christmas feels heavy for you. If the holidays make you emotional, nostalgic, or unexpectedly sad. If you feel a lump in your throat when old songs play. If you feel a longing you can't explain. That is not weakness. That is your inner child remembering. Remembering things that felt magical. Remembering things that hurt. Remembering needs that were never met. Remembering moments when they felt invisible. Remembering all the places where love felt conditional. The holidays crack open a part of you that stays guarded the rest of the year. And that's why this season can feel confusing. Why do I miss something I can't name? Why do I feel lonely even around people I love? Why does joy feel mixed with grief? Because the inner child is speaking for the first time all year. And they speak in feelings, not logic. The gift you've always wanted. You might think the most meaningful Christmas gifts come wrapped in paper, tied with ribbons, or exchanged between people. But the most beautiful gift you could ever give is one you give to yourself. Coming home to your inner child. Remembering them. Seeing them. Hearing them. Reclaiming them. This is the gift that changes how you love, how you relate, how you heal, and how you meet yourself when no one is watching. Because the truth is, you cannot abandon your inner child and expect to feel whole. You cannot silence your inner child and expect to feel peaceful. You cannot shame your inner child and expect to feel confident. You cannot ignore your inner child and expect to feel loved. Your inner child is not a past version of you. They are the foundation of your emotional life. The version of you that still influences your relationships, reactions, fears, and hopes without you realizing it. And Christmas is the perfect moment to reconnect. Why Christmas awakens this part of you. Even if your childhood holidays weren't perfect, or even safe, this season tends to awaken. Old memories. Old fears. Old unmet needs. Old longing for connection. Old wounds around family. Old dreams for love and belonging. This is why some people feel overwhelmed during the holidays. Not because something is wrong, but because so much is remembered. But with awareness, this can become an opening. A doorway into healing. Not healing through fixing yourself. Not healing through overthinking. Not healing through forcing yourself to be positive. But healing through remembering. Before anything hurt me, there was a version of me who knew joy without hesitation. And that part of you is still there. Your inner child needs one thing from you. If you close your eyes right now and imagine the child you once were. Maybe 3, 5, 7, or 9 years old. What do they look like? What expression do they have? Are they hopeful? Are they anxious? Are they shy? Are they lonely? Are they waiting for someone? Are they looking for safety? Or simply wanting to be held? Now imagine you, the adult, kneeling beside them this Christmas. And imagine saying gently, "I see you. I remember you. I'm here now. You don't have to go through things alone anymore." This is the conversation your inner child has been waiting years to hear. Not from a parent. Not from a partner. Not from the world. From you. Because the most powerful reparenting begins when the adult you are today becomes the protector, comforter, and safe place that the child inside you always needed. Christmas is the perfect moment to begin that relationship. What this season can become for you. Instead of rushing, performing, giving endlessly, or numbing through the holidays. This year you can choose something different. You can choose softness. You can choose truth. You can choose to pause. You can choose to listen inwardly. You can choose to meet yourself without judgment. You can choose to come home, not just for the season, but to yourself. You can choose to make this the Christmas where you finally say, "I am done abandoning myself." Because what if the most beautiful gift of your entire adult life is not under the tree, not in a store, and not something anyone else can give you? What if it is the moment you reunite with the child you left behind? That child has been waiting for you. Patiently, silently, tenderly. And this season, you have a chance to bring them home. The homecoming. How to rebuild safety with your inner child. There is a moment in every healing journey when you stop looking for love outside yourself and begin turning inward. Not out of resignation, but out of remembrance. You begin to sense something quietly waiting for you. Something that has always been there beneath the noise, beneath the survival patterns, beneath all the ways you learn to cope. That something is your inner child. If part 1 was about understanding who your inner child is, part 2 is about coming home to them. Not in theory, not in poetic ideas, but in a real felt transformative way. And Christmas, whether you celebrate it culturally, spiritually, or simply enjoy its energy, is the perfect season for this homecoming. Because the entire month is filled with symbols of what the inner child has been longing for. Warmth, belonging, laughter, slowness, softness, and magic. Today we go deeper. Today we talk about how to return to the parts of you that learn to hide. 1. Why the inner child hid in the first place. Before you can come home, you must understand why you left. Your inner child didn't disappear. They went into hiding. Sometimes they hid because the world around them felt too loud, too unpredictable, too demanding. Sometimes they hid because love came with conditions. Sometimes they hid because they were told their feelings were too much, their personality too big, their needs too inconvenient. And sometimes they hid because they had no other way to survive. Children are born wired for connection, softness, and expression. But life teaches them about disappointment, overwhelm, broken promises, and emotional absence. So they learn to shrink, to toughen up, to stay silent, to act grown. You may have grown older, more capable, more responsible. But the hiding never stops until you consciously return for them. This is what part 2 is about. Finding the door back to yourself. 2. Christmas as a portal back to innocence. For many people, Christmas isn't about religion. It's about emotional memory. You remember. Sparkles the excitement of seeing lights. Sparkles the warmth of family rituals. Sparkles the sweet anticipation of gifts. Sparkles the safety of believing magic is possible. Sparkles the softness in the air that made everything feel lighter. Even if your childhood Christmases weren't perfect, or were painful, this season still carries an archetype, a collective sense of warmth and home. Christmas is one of the only times in adulthood when the world slows down enough for us to feel what's underneath the noise. And what's underneath is often a small, hopeful voice whispering, "I wonder if life can feel magical again." Yes, it can. This season becomes an emotional doorway, one your inner child is waiting behind. 3. Relearning safety. The foundations of reconnection. Your inner child will not come out just because you call them. They return when you recreate the conditions where softness becomes safe again. Here are the 4 foundations. Foundation 1. Consistency. Your inner child is not impressed by big promises or emotional intensity. They trust what is steady. If you want them to feel safe again, start with small daily rituals. Talking to them for 2 minutes before bed. Placing a hand over your heart when you're overwhelmed. Lighting a candle and breathing slowly. Journaling 1 sentence to them each morning. Consistency signals. I'm not leaving this time. Foundation 2. Emotional permission. Nothing blocks the inner child like judgment. If you feel sad, let sadness be okay. If you feel frustrated, lonely, scared, excited, or playful, let all of it be okay. Your inner child will come out the moment you stop punishing yourself for being human. Foundation 3. Slowness. Children can't connect in a rushed environment. Your inner child is the same. Slow down your pace. Lower your expectations. Speak to yourself gently. Move through your day with more presence. Slowness creates room for innocence to re-emerge. Foundation 4. Imagination. Healing doesn't happen from logic. It happens from imagery, memory, and emotional resonance. For example, you can imagine sitting beside your younger self in a quiet room, wrapping them in a blanket, telling them, "You're safe with me now," giving them permission to rest, cry, play, or speak. The subconscious responds to images more than intentions. When you use imagination, your inner child begins to trust that you're truly reaching for them. 4. A guided inner homecoming. Close your eyes and let the words paint the space for you. Imagine you're walking through a quiet winter evening. Snow is gently falling, the world is silent, and your breath forms little clouds in the air. In the distance, you see a house glowing with warm golden light. It feels familiar. You walk closer, sensing something inside calling you home. As you reach the door, you place your hand on the handle. The door opens softly, not by you, but as if someone was waiting. And there they are. Your inner child. Not a memory. Not an idea. A real presence inside you. They look up with eyes that know you instantly. There's no fear. No confusion. Just a quiet recognition. You came back for me. You kneel down so you're on their level. You place your hands gently on their shoulders. And you say, "I'm here now. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not leaving." Your inner child steps forward and wraps their arms around you. The moment you hold them, something cracks open. Something you've carried for years. Relief. You are finally home. This visualization is not pretend. This is the beginning of neural repair. This is how your brain learns new emotional safety. 5. Understanding the holiday trigger effect. The holidays often intensify emotions, both good and painful. Why? Because this time of year magnifies everything you didn't get. The affection you wished for. The family closeness you needed. The stability you longed for. The excitement you wanted to feel. The presents you never had. When Christmas lights turn on, unresolved memories turn on too. But here's the shift. This time, instead of reliving old pain, you can choose to respond differently. You can acknowledge the hurt while also being the adult who brings comfort and warmth. You can be the one who listens, the one who nurtures, the one who protects, the one who stays. This is how generational healing begins. Not by changing the past, but by changing the emotional pattern inside you. 6. Reparenting yourself during the holidays. Here are gentle ways to support yourself emotionally this season. 1. Create a ritual your younger self always wished for. Maybe it's baking cookies, writing a letter to Santa, decorating the room with fairy lights, watching a childhood movie, playing music from your early years. This is not childish. It's healing. 2. Give yourself the gift your inner child never received. It could be time, softness, rest, praise, permission to say no, a symbolic object, a teddy bear, a toy, a book, or simply a safe emotional presence. The point isn't the gift. The point is that you become the giver. 3. Allow yourself to feel joy without guilt. You don't have to earn joy. Children don't analyze joy. They experience it. Let yourself experience it too. 4. Let the seasons soften you. Sit with a warm drink. Look at lights on the street. Take slow walks. Notice moments of connection. Savor smells, sounds, textures. Your inner child feels safe when life becomes sensory, not stressful. The home you carry forward. If the previous parts were about remembering joy and reopening the door to the tender, forgotten places inside you, then this final chapter is about something even more sacred. Learning how to carry that rediscovered self into the life you're living today. Because an awakened inner child is not just a holiday feeling. She is your compass, your truth teller, your reminder that the deepest forms of love, safety, and belonging were never meant to come from the outside world alone. They were meant to rise from within you. And that is really the heart of this final part. What does it look like to live your life, not just your Christmas, from a place where your inner child is finally home? Today, you and I will walk gently through this idea together. I want you to imagine this as a soft closing chapter. Comforting, affirming, grounding. A chapter that doesn't say, "Go be better," but instead quietly whispers, "You are already enough." Let's bring that enoughness with us into the rest of your life. Let's begin. 1. A new kind of homecoming. Home has always been one of the most emotionally charged words we have. For many people, home is warmth and closeness. For others, it's loneliness or fear or a sense of never fitting in. And for some, home is not a place. It's a moment, a memory, a feeling that disappears just when they reach for it. But as you've traveled through this episode, you've probably felt something like a shift, a softening, a sense that maybe, just maybe, the home you were searching for wasn't lost. It was internal, waiting, quiet, patient. Your inner child is not asking you to rebuild the past. She's asking you to build a home with her in the present. A home where you speak to yourself with the kindness she always needed. You create moments of joy instead of waiting for permission. You listen to your needs before you reach burnout. You allow yourself to rest instead of performing, proving, or earning your worth. You treat your dreams not as unrealistic wishes, but as sacred invitations. This is the true meaning of coming home to your inner child. Not a perfect life, but a life where you no longer abandon yourself. 2. The truth about healing. It was never about becoming someone else. There's a misconception in self-healing that says, you need to grow out of your childhood self. But the truth is quite the opposite. You grow back into your childhood self. Not the wounded version, the alive version. The version of you who used to run toward life, not away from it. The version who asked for help when she needed it. The version who believed she was allowed to take up space. The version who thought magic was normal. You don't become stronger by outgrowing your inner child. You become stronger by reuniting with her and carrying her forward with you. Healing is not about fixing the version of you that was hurt. Healing is about holding her. It's choosing to become the adult she needed, and the friend she wished for, and the parent she deserved. It's choosing to stop abandoning yourself in the places where she was abandoned. And this right here is the quiet miracle of inner child work. Once she feels you returning to her, she gives you back everything you lost. Creativity, softness, intuition, joy, authenticity, aliveness. She gives you back yourself. 3. What happens when you let your inner child lead a little more? When you start living from this place, the place where you're not just aware of your inner child, but actively caring for her, your life begins to shift in subtle but beautiful ways. You become more present. You notice small joys. The smell of cinnamon. The softness of a blanket. Lights twinkling in a window. You stop rushing past life. You rediscover creativity. Not because it's productive or monetizable, but because it feels good. You make decisions based on truth, not fear. Your inner child knows when something feels safe or unsafe. She knows when something is aligned. She knows when you're pretending or performing. You become more playful. Not childish, but light. Curious. Willing to experiment. Willing to be imperfect. You stop tolerating what hurts you. When you protect her, you stop letting people cross your boundaries, dismiss your feelings, or demand parts of you that you don't want to give. You begin choosing the life you want. Not the life that looks good on paper. And maybe the most meaningful change of all. You begin to like yourself. Gently. Honestly. Quietly. Not because you've achieved self-love, but because you stopped abandoning the part of you that needed love the most. 4. The most beautiful gift you can give yourself this Christmas. This holiday season, you might feel pressure. Pressure to be cheerful, pressure to be grateful, pressure to be strong for everyone around you. But your inner child doesn't need a perfect holiday. She doesn't need you to force joy or decorate your way into happiness. She needs something much simpler. Your presence. Your warmth. Your hand reaching inward saying, I'm here now. I won't leave you again. This is the gift. Not an action. Not a ritual. Not a big change. Just coming home. Maybe for the first time. Maybe after a lifetime of waiting. And I want you to hear this clearly. You deserve that homecoming. You always did. 5. How to carry this feeling into your new year. Let's talk about how to bring this inner child homecoming into the chapters of your life that are still unfolding. A. Give your inner child a seat at the table. Before making decisions, big or small, check in with her. Ask, what do you need right now? She always knows. B. Speak kindly to yourself. Your inner child hears every word of your internal dialogue. Replace self-criticism with gentleness. C. Create micro-moments of joy. Not the big, performative kind. Just tiny things that light you up. A scent, a song, a silly moment, a 5-minute creative play. D. Rest without apology. Your inner child never said, I can rest once I'm productive. She rested because she needed to. Follow her wisdom. E. Make choices that feel safe, not just impressive. You're allowed to choose peace over performance. F. Let yourself hope again. Your inner child is the keeper of your dreams. When you listen to her, you rediscover the blueprints of the life you really want. 6. A gentle invitation. If this episode touched something inside you, if it opened a door, softened a memory, or reminded you of a part of yourself you want to reconnect with, I want to offer you a gentle next step. I created a free gift called Coming Home for the Holidays. A Gentle Inner Child Awakening. It's a beautifully written, soothing guide to help you deepen this relationship with your inner child. Through reflection, memory, softness, and emotional safety. It's designed to be like sitting near a warm window with a cup of tea, reconnecting with a part of you that still believes in magic, warmth, and belonging. It's yours, completely free. A companion to everything we explored today. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not late to your healing. You are simply returning. Returning to softness. Returning to joy. Returning to hope. Returning to the girl inside you who always deserved love. The most beautiful gift this Christmas is not found under a tree. It is found in a quiet promise. I am coming home to myself. And that is enough. More than enough. Always enough. Subscribe, like and share for more episodes from Book with Joys. Inner peace, self-worth, and emotional freedom.